Have you ever felt utterly lost? Not just in a strange city, but in your own life. You follow all the signs, you head in the direction everyone says is success or happiness, yet you still feel a deep sense of disorientation, a quiet anxiety that you're not actually getting anywhere meaningful. What if the goal wasn't to find a new destination, but to finally understand how to read the compass you've been holding all along? Today, we're going to explore what is perhaps the ultimate goal and the most misunderstood concept in all of Buddhism, Nirvana, or Enlightenment. For many in the West, the word conjures images of a distant mystical heaven, a blissful afterlife, or perhaps even a blank, empty void, a total annihilation of the self. These ideas are understandable, but they don't quite capture the practical, profound, and liberating reality the Buddha was pointing to. So, let's put those images aside. Today, we're going to discover that Nirvana isn't a place you go to. It is the fundamental relief of no longer being lost. To begin, let's look at the word itself. The Sanskrit term is Nirvana. In the Pali language of the earliest texts, it's Nibbana. The literal meaning is to extinguish or to cool. This immediately brings up a question. Extinguish what? The Buddha wasn't talking about extinguishing your life or your personality. He was talking about extinguishing the three fires that cause all our suffering. The fire of greed, raga, the fire of hatred or aversion, dosa, and the fire of delusion or ignorance, moha. When these fires are burning, they create a kind of feverish heat, the heat of constant craving, anxiety, and confusion. So Nibbana is the cooling of that fever. But how do we understand this in our own lives? This is where an analogy can serve as our guide. Imagine that when we are born, we are each handed a map to navigate the world. This map isn't made of paper. It's made of our conditioning, our cultural beliefs, and our most basic assumptions. And this map tells us exactly where to find happiness. It puts big flashing markers on things like wealth, status, sensual pleasure, and getting everyone's approval. It tells us, go there. If you can just reach these destinations, you will be safe and happy. So we spend our lives on a frantic journey, trying to navigate from point to point. We get the promotion, we buy the car, we find the partner, and for a moment we feel a sense of relief. But the feeling is fleeting. The anxiety of being lost soon returns, and we look at the map and frantically search for the next destination. This endless, dissatisfying journey is what the Buddha called saṃsāra, the cycle of wandering. The constant stress and friction of this journey is dukkha, or suffering. Now, the Buddha's great insight, his enlightenment, was not that he found a secret hidden destination that wasn't on the map. His awakening was the shocking, world-altering realization that we have been holding the map upside down. He realized that the direction we thought was north, the direction of grasping, craving, and ego, was actually leading us deeper south, into more entanglement and suffering. And the direction we were ignoring or actively avoiding, the direction of letting go, of generosity, compassion, and seeing reality clearly, was the true north, the path leading to peace. Enlightenment, then, is that moment of flipping the map. It's the radical reorientation of your entire view. And Nirvana is the state of being that follows. It is the freedom of finally being able to navigate with clarity. You're still in the same world, on the same terrain, but you are no longer lost. The frantic, feverish struggle to find your way is over. That fever has cooled. You see the paths to suffering and the paths to peace for what they are, and you can now walk with confidence and ease. So what does this mean for us, sitting here in the 21st century? It means that the path to peace doesn't require you to leave your life, quit your job, or become someone else. It simply requires you to question the map you've been given. Our modern map is constantly telling us that happiness is just one more click, one more purchase, one more like away. It tells us that our anxiety can be solved by being more productive, or that our loneliness can be solved by curating a more perfect online identity. This analogy of the upside-down map invites us to see that these directions may be fundamentally flawed. The constant pursuit of more is the very source of our frantic, feverish state. Flipping the map means realizing that genuine well-being doesn't come from getting something out there, but from extinguishing the fires of craving and aversion in here. It's the shift from constantly asking, "What can I get from the world?" to gently asking, "Am I seeing the world clearly?" This reorientation is the beginning of true freedom. To make this real for you, here's a small practice for the week ahead. It's not about changing anything, just about noticing. Once a day, I invite you to pause and identify one direction your inner map is urging you to go. Maybe it's the urge to check your phone for validation. Maybe it's the urge to worry about a future that hasn't happened. Maybe it's the urge to replay an old resentment. Simply notice that urge as a direction on the map. Then ask yourself a quiet question. Where does this path truly lead? You don't need to force an answer, just hold the question gently. By simply learning to notice the map and question its directions, you are already beginning the process of learning to read it correctly. Nirvana is not an otherworldly destination. It is the end of the deep, painful confusion of being lost. It is the clarity, peace, and compassion that arises naturally when we finally see the world and ourselves with uncluttered eyes, when we finally turn our map the right way up. It is the greatest journey we can take, and it is a journey not to a new place, but to a new perspective available to every one of us at any moment. If this way of understanding Nirvana was helpful, please let us know in the comments below. What does your upside-down map tell you? For more explorations that can help you navigate your inner world with greater clarity, please subscribe to the Mindful Compass. Thank you for joining me on the path today.